I just financed this Happy Meal over 6 weeks, and a lot of people compare buy now pay later to a credit card plan, and I didn't really see the similarities. So in this video, I'm going to test out for myself, figure out what exactly is buy now pay later, and get some experience from someone who's been using buy now pay later since the beginning.
Golden arches in the sky like a dead generator. BNPL life, buy now, cry later.
So you haven't heard about buy now pay later is basically you're putting a purchase at a set amount of time that you'll eventually pay back. Usually that time comes in 4 payments or even 6 payments, or depending on the store and the buy now pay later program, it can extend even further than that. Basically, I like to see it as a mini loan, but some people do see it as kind of a credit card alternative, especially since a lot of times it advertises itself as being a no interest option. But one issue that experts have pointed out is that buy now pay later programs, they're easy to stack, and also they have their own issues, like they have a lot of fees. But what makes these buy now pay later programs really appealing is when you get to the checkout screen, you may see, oh, that huge total, that's what I'm gonna have to pay for right now. But when you see these buy now pay later programs, a lot of times they'll advertise themselves as, hey, how about instead of paying all of that right now, eventually you'll have to pay it off, but what if we just gave it to you in $10 chunks? Definitely seems way more manageable and kind of more enticing to use. And especially a lot of these programs, they don't even need a hard credit check, making it easier and more digestible for, I would say, most people. And it's just the instant gratification of it. I can have this item that I want right now and just have to worry about it later on. And I think another thing that makes these buy now pay later programs really attractive is just being a little bit transparent. A lot of times with credit cards, they advertise themselves as having a ton of benefits, and it seems like, hey, that money has to go from somewhere, right? But for some reason that logic doesn't apply to buy now pay later programs, because I think a lot of the mentality of buy now pay later programs is, hey, as long as I pay it off and pay it on time, then I don't have anything to worry about. But is that the case? And honestly, I really didn't know the answer to that question, so I kind of wanted to test it out for myself. Is buy now pay later as evil as the media says it is, or maybe it is a good alternative to credit cards and other loans? All right, so here we go. So at first when I was doing research, I didn't exactly know how to use Klarna or Affirm or any of these apps. I know some of the trending articles were talking about financing a Chipotle burrito over a significant amount of time, and that was through DoorDash. So we're gonna go ahead and try to finance this Happy Meal over DoorDash. So I've been trying it for a little bit, and it seems like the only option to use like a payment plan over DoorDash is through Klarna. But the issue is I can't find a McDonald's that will do pickup on DoorDash. Apparently, instead of going through the food apps, you can go directly to Klarna and set up a payment plan. So I went ahead and downloaded the app and set everything up. And even then, we still ran into an issue. Maybe it's just me, but I thought you could finance literally anything over a buy now pay later plan at any amount, because there was a lot of these articles saying that, oh, now that Costco's accepting buy now pay later, you can now finance a Costco hot dog. Apparently that's not the case. With Klarna, there is a minimum. There's only a $35 minimum before you can actually use a financing plan. And from my understanding, it seems like this is across the board with other financing companies. So no, you can't just finance everything. But let's go ahead and get something set up. So some of the information that they want from me is my first name, last name, date of birth, and address. And then the next screen will ask me how much I want to spend. So unfortunately, I can't just spend $5. But there is a $35 minimum, so maybe we'll go ahead and try that. And it seems like there are different types of cards and different types of plans. And apparently some of these plans can get fairly expensive. They start at $5 a month, and then $10 a month, and then $20 a month. And then there's one that's $45 a month. It's kind of crazy. Some of them have really interesting benefits, like when you pay for the higher tier plan, then you'll have access to transfer travel partners. It's a really compelling feature for a lot of premium travel credit cards, but I'm not really sure if that's going to be the selling point for this Klarna card. But for right now, I'm just going to do a plus plan because there is a free trial and I don't have to pay any of the extra fees that Klarna has. And then it wants to confirm my details, and now it wants to ask for my social security number. But apparently right here it says that your credit score won't be impacted, so it's kind of like a soft pull. Kind of interesting. I can see why someone would want to apply for a Klarna account versus a credit card. The only issue with the Klarna card that I have, maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but I don't believe the Klarna accounts build your credit score, so it's not setting you up for the future. All right, now I'm placing the order for the McDonald's. So I added the Klarna card to Apple Pay, other cards and pay later options, and then it pops something up. It says before you continue, you already have I activated for $42 earlier, but we're only spending $35, so I guess it has to make a new plan for us. And the new plan that we have is for the $35 purchase, your first payment is going to be due at purchase, so the $8.91, and then for every 2 weeks, you're going to have to pay $8.91. And if I didn't upgrade to that subscription, the subscription that wants me to pay $5, $10, and $20 a month, which is kind of insane, they would have charged me a service fee of $1.29. And technically, yes, it does say 0% interest, but paying that service fee amount, if I didn't have the subscription, that's 5% of my entire purchase. So I would imagine maybe you're buying an even more expensive purchase, maybe something for like $900. 5% of $900 is a $45 service fee. And then we have to confirm our plan before actually placing the order. So you see everything listed here. We're going to have to pay $8.91 per every 2 weeks. And when I was scrolling and reading this, I see that the late charges can be up to $7 every time you miss a payment. And it can be up to 25% of your order amount. So I know we're financing something really little, just, kind of testing it out. But if we were actually seriously using it on a larger purchase, like say $900, 25% of $900 is $225. So it can get fairly expensive real quick. All right, and it seems like it went through. So let's go ahead and pick up that order and see if there's any problems when we actually pick up the order. But real quick, a word from the sponsor. So true story, when I first started seriously traveling, I had a zipper suitcase, and it was just one of those annoyances that you didn't really want to deal with at the moment, especially when I bought the suitcase. It wasn't exactly one of the cheapest, but the issues could no longer be ignored. Whenever I checked it in, it always bursted. Also, having a zipper suitcase is just a security issue, so that's why for my next suitcase, I wanted to find metal clasp, and I think one of the best options in the market is the Carl Friedrich suitcase. But why did I choose this suitcase over a metal suitcase? Isn't metal supposed to be more premium? This one is going to be a lot more durable, but if for some reason anything does happen to your suitcase, Carl Friedrich does have a lifetime guarantee. Plus, also for a vanity standpoint, I do really like the look of the Carl Friedrich where they mix the leather into the suitcase. And for all those reasons, that's why the Carl Friedrich Carry-On X is my go-to suitcase. And if you're in the market for a carry-on for luggage or anything from Carl Friedrich, this is probably the best time to do so. Right now, Carl Friedrich is running their Black Friday sale, and it will be ending on December 1st. And this is their only sale of the year. And during that Black Friday sale, you're going to be getting 30% off everything. So if you've been thinking about getting something, I'll have a link in the pinned comment below. And thanks again for Carl Friedrich for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. But what you were really hoping for from this video, what toy did I get? I got a Zootopia toy from Nick Hiding Out. And here's all the different ones that you can get. And if you want this toy, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, and maybe we'll do a giveaway. But let's get back, because we'll be interviewing somebody who has been using the Buy Now Pay Later since 2020. And I'm just really curious what their opinion is of this Buy Now Pay Later. So hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Of course.
So I want to kind of ask you a couple of questions. I know you have a lot of experience with it, and I'm just hoping to get your expertise.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, I guess the first question I have is, what made you decide to try Buy Now Pay Later for the first time?
I first used Buy Now Pay Later in early 2020, and I was ordering acrylic nail dip powder to start doing my own nails. The startup kit was kind of expensive, but they offered this Buy Now Pay Later option on their website that sounded okay. I read some reviews about it, didn't see anything negative, and gave it a try.
Okay, so did you fully understand how Buy Now Pay Later worked when you used it?
For the most part, yes. The more I used it, the better I understood it.
That's fair. Do you think you would have still made the purchase if Buy Now Pay Later wasn't an option?
Probably, but I likely would have made it at a later date.
Did you ever miss a payment for the Buy Now Pay Later? And if you did, what happened?
Yes. I didn't have autopay turned on and completely forgot. Just got a couple of text reminders and paid within a day or two of missing the payment. Nothing happened other than those reminders.
Okay, so it isn't too bad actually. Now, with that being the case, did using buy now, pay later ever feel kind of risky for you?
At first, yes. Mostly because anything new is scary, and you don't always know how things will play out when you try them.
For sure. Now, how about this question? Did it ever make you feel like you could afford more than you actually could?
100%. At the time, I would have had to save up to make that initial purchase. I have since also made larger purchases I wouldn't have otherwise made or been able to make because I was able to split the payments.
Do you regret using buy now, pay later?
Not at all.
I guess for my final question, would you recommend using buy now, pay later to other people?
Yes, but I would recommend using caution for a couple of reasons. First, not all buy now, pay later programs are created equal. I only use ones that don't charge interest.
Gotcha. So some of them do charge interest.
In the past, I've utilized Affirm for financing for large purchases, but in hindsight, I think using a credit card for those would have yielded the same results. Secondly, don't fall into the trap of too many buy now, pay later plans at one time. It's easy to think,
Hmm. Okay.
oh, I can afford X dollar per paycheck without adding all those X's together and stretching yourself too thin.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I really appreciate you being on here today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So hearing someone who has experience with the buy now, pay later and also just, doing it ourselves, I really do have a different opinion a little bit of buy now, pay later. I don't think it's overall changed my opinion to be like an amazing thing or anything like that. It's just that I definitely understand the appeal of it. Just being able to push off your payments over a specific period of time, usually of a perceived lower fee compared to credit card interest, especially if your viewpoint is that credit cards are kind of like a mini loan where you can just kind of borrow money month to month. But still, overall, I think it's a program that shouldn't be used. It's too easy to fall in that pit hole, and also you're not really getting too many benefits. At the very least, with credit cards, that you will be getting a sign-up bonus, you'll be getting some cash back on most credit cards. But what's your opinion on buy now, pay later? Now, I do have a Discord server, so if you want to continue the conversation, I can't wait to see you there. But yeah, that was buy now, pay later. I definitely understand the appeal a little bit more, but I still don't think it's something for me. And I'll see you later.